Alright guys, welcome back to another Dayz tutorial. So if you are thinking about running the Trader Plus mod, or you are running the Trader Plus mod, I want to cover in this video how you can go about getting your vending machines or your traders set up, if it's NPCs, vending machines, or with Trader Plus's case, they use Trader Plus signs. I've never seen anyone use them, but they do have them. If you're using ATMs, I'll cover that. And I'll just quickly go over, how you set up your categories, how you can create categories and that so on. I'll try and do this as quick as possible, but I also want to make sure I explain to you as much as possible, everything I can, because there is quite a lot involved with Trader Plus. So I want to kind of show you that so you know what you're doing. So, for anyone that doesn't want to watch the video of me rambling on, I will warn you now, this could go on for about 30 minutes, if not longer. But if I can do it quicker, I'll do it quicker. Right, anyway, let's get into it. So, I've literally just taken some files. So when you install Trader Plus, in your profiles folder, or whatever folder it's called, sometimes it's not called profile, sometimes it's called config, sometimes it's called SC, it can be called a few different things, but it's generally known as your profiles folder. So in your profiles folder, you'll get a folder, let me just quickly show you, I can do it from here. So actually, this is the Trader Plus one. So I'm actually inside. Let me go to mine. Now mine's not fully set up, but it does have the files. So when you install the Trader Plus mod, in your profiles folder, you'll get a folder called Trader Plus. And inside there, you'll get more folders, but the main one that you want to mess with, sorry, is the Trader Plus config. So if we open that up, you'll get a load of files. Now, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go to the Trader Plus mod and get the default files. It gives you kind of I wouldn't say an explanation, but it kind of gives you what you would get. Because I want to kind of show you, you install this, what you can do, what you need to do, where mine's already edited in a certain sense. So if we go back to the actual mod itself, and this is not what you need to do. You need to go to your profiles folder and edit your stuff inside there. I just kind of want to show you the default files. Why can't I couldn't find Trader Plus, and inside there is a server profile folder, so you'll get this Trader Plus folder in your profiles folder, and then you go to your config folder. Right, and in here we've got some files. Now you won't get this this Trader Plus JSON_stock file, so we're going to ignore that. We're just going in this video, we're just going to deal with three files, which is going to be your general config, your ID config, and your price config. The only thing missing in here is what's missing in here? There's another file missing in here, like a data backup thing or something. But I believe you get that when you start your server, or when you get a player that connects, because it's like a database fault file. Right, anyway, so first things first, and I've got them all open in Notepad++, is we're going to basically go into our general config. I'll then show you probably the price config after that, and then the ID config. But you can do this in any order, it doesn't really matter. Right, so I've switched over to Notepad++. Now, starting from the top, these settings are pretty self-explanatory. You don't need to worry about line 3 and line 4, just leave that. But these from line 5 are kind of self-explanatory. The only thing I don't know is I don't know what this does. Enable show all checkbox. It's on. And enable show all prices. I'm not kind of sure what that does. The licenses I don't really mess with, but you can kind of go over that. But for the purpose of this tutorial, you don't really need to worry about this, or you don't need to worry about this part there that I've highlighted. Right, what you want to worry about is your currency. So Trader Plus has a few different currencies. Most people will use a different currency mod. Sorry, it's going to burp. But it's up to you. If you want to keep with a Trader Plus currency, you don't need to touch this. If you are using a different currency for a different mod for currency, then all you need to do is where it says class name, in between the the quotation marks, put in the currency name, and then put in the value. So if you've got, I don't know, say $1, say you've got a 500, 5,000, 2,000 is quite a lot, to be fair. Most currencies don't go up to that price, or not what I've seen. But say you've got a dollar note for, I don't know, 500. Right, in the value you'd put 500. So you just go through your currency and edit that as you need to. If you are using multiple currencies, so have they got it here? Trader Plus Coin 2. Yeah, they have. So if you're using multiple currencies, you can just separate them. So let's just take this one here, for example, that I've added. We've got a Trader Plus Money Ruble _2 _2 coin. So it's like a 2-cent coin or whatever, 2 ruble coin. Then we've got a Trader Plus, we've got a Euro 2. So that's probably a note. And then we've got a dollar 2. So if you do use multiple, just put at the end of the first class name currency, you put a comma. Just separate them like that. And then you just got your quotation mark at the end and at the start. And then that's it. And then obviously you put in the value of whatever that currency is. Right, so that should be pretty self-explanatory and straightforward. Again, I'll say it now and I'll say it at the end. If you are stuck with anything, you can join my Discord, which link is on my YouTube channel. And you can come and speak with me, create a ticket, and come and speak with me, and we can try and go from there. Right, now it's like the traders themselves. Now, if you want to use the Trader Plus signs, the name for it is here. So in ID 0, we've got a name, Trader Plus sign. Now, most people don't use these, but if you do want to, yeah, that's the class name for the actual thing. Now, most people either use vendor machines or NPCs. If you're using an NPC, you just need to put in the name of that NPC, so the class name. So if we go down to ID 1, so the next trader, you can see here we've got a survivor M _ Jose. There is a list somewhere. I can't remember where, but there is a list of different survivor names. But I think you can do it in game. I think if you go to VPP admin tools, bring up the admin menu, I think you can search for different survivor class names. And yeah, so you just put in the class name of survivor. Given name, I actually don't know really what it does, because I believe when you go to the trader, it doesn't come up with their name. The only thing it does is it comes up with their role name. So this here where it says weapon trader, when you go and press F on it and interact, at the top it will say weapon trader. I believe that's the only thing it says. So given name, I don't do. I always just take out the name. I keep the line, but I just take out the name and close up the quotation marks. That's what I do personally, but it's up to you. You can give it a name, but I don't really believe that makes a difference. Right, anyway, so that's what you do. Now, I'm going to pretty much just talk about vending machines, because that's what I use, and that's what most people use that I've seen. But yeah, I have showed you, if you do want an NPC or a Trader Plus sign, just copy the same principle as you do with a vending machine. Right, so let's just start with this top one. We don't really need to go down all of them, but there is certain parts I will need to cover. Right, so name is the class name of the item. So if you're using a vending machine mod, then the class name of that vending machine. Given name, like I said, I don't normally do. I simply just take out the name, so it looks like that. Role, I believe that is, I haven't actually checked, but I believe that is the name of the vending machine or the trader. When you open it up and interact, that's what the name will be. So that's what you do there. Now, position, I'm not going to go into and show you how to get the position, but I will quickly tell you what you can do to get the position. So one of the best ways is you can either go into, say, Dayz editor and place the vending machines down where you want them. And then you can basically export that file from editor, and then you can get the positions, and then you can input them into here. So you got your X, you got your Y, and then you got your Z position, and then you got your orientation, so the way it's facing. Or you can go in game, use the VPP admin tools, go into the object builder, place them down where you want them, and then what I like to do is P is like the copy button, so you can get your cursor, look at the object, push P, make sure it says it's copied whatever object you're trying to copy, make sure it comes up, I think, in the top left or somewhere at the top of your screen with what object you've copied. Make sure it doesn't say it's copied your position or some other random object position. Because I've definitely had that happen 1 or 2 times. So do make sure when you push P at the object, it says it's copied the vending machine that you're looking at. And then you can get that, and then you can come back to here. And then what I like to do, or you can go into a separate, say, open up a separate page in Notepad, and then you would paste in, if you just press Control V, it will paste in the position, and then you just get the position. So you get your X, so go back to the price, general config. You just get your X1, put it in the top line there, go and get your Z, your Y position, put it there, and then your X, Y, and Z. Oh no, X, yeah, Y, and Z, your Z position at the bottom. And then obviously go ahead and copy your orientation, the way it faces, and you just put that in. So what I like to do is go ahead, put all your vending machines down where you want them. And then just copy them, paste them in Notepad, and then you can just go through this and do them that way. That's one of the ways I do it. Now, you can do this different ways. Some people adapt their style to whatever suits them, to whatever they find easier, but essentially you need to go ahead and get the position, and you can export when you're in Object Builder. We're using the VPP admin tools. You can actually export the file, and so you don't need to use P. You can just export it and then open it up, and then just go back and forth from that file. But using the P, copying it with P, is quite a good way. It's the way I like to use. Right, now you can see some here, so let's just go down to ID 1 now. Now, because this is using a survivor, this is using an actual NPC, they need clothes or they need attachments. Vending machines or signposts obviously don't need clothes or attachments. It's just an object. But a survivor, now you don't have to give them clothes. You don't even have to give them attachments. But doing so kind of gives it a bit more of a, what's the word? I can't think what the word is. It makes it feel more real. You're more, I don't want to say engaged is the wrong word. I can't think of the right word now. It'll probably come to me at some point in the video, but it feels, it looks more real. So yeah, so if you are using signpost or vending machines, take out the close bit. So from the square bracket, what I like to do is take all that, and at the beginning of that square bracket, I would just delete and then close up the brackets, just like so. That's what I would do. But if you are using NPCs, for example, you literally just, if you want to give them an axe, or if you want to give them a gun, the name of the gun, the name of the item, and then also give them the name of the clothes, if their boots, the pants, the jacket, you can kind of go through. And if you want them to have a backpack, you can do that. Right. I think that is pretty much covered that. Oh no, we do need to go down. Right, so at the bottom, so Trader Plus has its own ATM. Again, I use a mod, I use the advanced banking mod, and that has its own config file. So I'm going to kind of talk about that, but we'll quickly talk about the Trader Plus one as well. So if you are using the Trader Plus banking machine, simply at the bottom here, above Trader Objects, it has one as default. So again, you just get your position like you do with the vending machines, the orientation, and put that in there. The role must be ATM in capitals. Again, given name, I've never messed with the Trader Plus banking system, but again, I don't believe that makes a difference. So you can leave that, or you can just take it out. And then the name, as you see it, is Trader Plus _bank _ATM. And then ID must be -2. So if you want more of them, if you're setting up a few, what you could do is copy that. And then on this comma or this bracket, put a comma, press enter, Control V to paste it in, and then you just put in new positions and a new orientation, and you just go through to how many ATMs that you want. And that's simply that. Now, I don't use these. So if you're like me and you use a mod, so you use advanced banking, let's just undo all that. So we got the one. Too far. Oh, no, there we go. Right, if you're like me and don't use it, just take it out. So from in the default case here, we're on line 183. So we take it out from there and delete that. Close that up, and then just delete the comma from this last bracket there, like nipple bracket as I call it, just like so. And then I'm not going to go into the advanced banking system. If anyone wants a video showing you for me to show you how to use that, I can do so. But to set up the ATM for advanced banking, just go into its own config, and again it's pretty much the same as this. You put in your positions and you put in your orientation where you want it. But when you look at it, it is pretty much self-explanatory, as most of these JSON files are. But yeah, to remove the Trader Plus ATM, just do that, and then that you're good to go there. Okay, I'll just undo that. We'll just keep it there for now. Right, now at the bottom you have a list of objects where Trader Plus loads in. Now these I believe are default for Chinara. So you got like Green Mountain, and is it, I never know how you pronounce it, but I always call it Cuminara, that other trader town. Now I don't recommend, I don't think, you know, using these type of files is the best way to load objects. I like to use the Dayz editor, install a Dayz editor loader on your server, and then you import the saved file from Dayz editor into your server file into your server, and the Dayz editor loader will, I believe it automatically makes a folder called editor files. Sometimes it doesn't, and you have to make this file, but you'll have a folder called editor files on your server, and then you import the Dayz editor file into there, and then you load your objects that way. So I would, even if you're using, I mean, it's up to, well, actually, if you're using kind of like the default trader, you know, some people are just too lazy, they just want to get it up and going, and they just use the default trader, then you can keep these in. But if you kind of want to make your own traders using different locations, then you want to get rid of these. And I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't even use this section to put more objects in. Either use VPP admin tools and do it in game, or use the Dayz editor and do it that way. But to take out the objects, simply this top nipple bracket, scroll all the way down to, I believe it's to there, and delete. Oh, I don't know. It's not to there. Sorry, I went one too far. I need that other square bracket. So from there, I will just double check this with mine, to there I believe it is, and then you close up these square brackets. You don't have to close them up, but I like to, it looks tidier. So close up the square brackets like that, and then you just got this last nipple bracket there, and then that would be it. And then you could, once you're done with the file, you save it. Now let me just double check that with mine, because I believe that is right. I don't want to obviously tell you the wrong thing. What was in the general, right? I don't load objects this way. I've gone too far. Yeah, so just like that. So you got your two square brackets with your last nipple bracket there. So yeah, so just like I showed you, and then that's it. And like I said, if you do want it, you can choose to load objects that way. If you want to put more objects in different locations, you can just kind of follow what it gives you as default. But like I said, I probably wouldn't, it's probably not the best way to do it. Right, so once you've done that, once you're happy with your file, you've added in all your traders. Like I said, by default, there's only a few traders here. Make sure they've got a different ID as well. And these IDs are going to come important in a second. So what I like to do is I go down and I just follow. So this is ID 0, this is 1, this is 2, we've got ID 3, and I think it goes to 4 and ID 4. So if you want to add another one in, simply just copy one of them. And if you're using vending machines or the Trader Plus signpost, copy one that doesn't, it's not a survivor, it's got closed. It'll be easier. So just simply copy one, paste underneath, make sure you put, I think I deleted the comma, put the comma there, and just like that. And then if you deleted the ATM and this is your last one, make sure you delete the comma at the end of that. Right, and then give it a different ID. So we'll just follow along. We'll give this ID 5. You'd put in the name or whatever it was you was using. You know, give a name. Like I said, doesn't really matter. Remove it, keep it there, and then the role, whatever it would be. So say this was going to be, I don't know, a drug trader. I could put drug trader, whatever, and then position and orientation. So that's the way you could go about adding more in. So let's just undo all that. Okay, right, now let's go in. I want to show you the price config, and then we'll come over to the ID config. So just remember, so for example, let me just go back up to this top one, ID 0. So remember this is the food trader. Now by default with Trader Plus, it adds, not only does it add food, but it adds like the medical stuff as well. Right, anyway, so let's go over to the price config, and this is where you add in all your stuff to buy or sell. And it's got all the vanilla stuff as default. So if you want to add to it, you know, I don't know, different drinks, you could put different drinks in this section. Alternatively, you can make your own categories. Say you wanted to keep the vanilla one, you could keep the vanilla one. But say we wanted to add a modded one, what you could do is you copy one of them. So from the open nipple bracket to the closed nipple bracket with a comma, and then doesn't really matter where you put it, but we'll put it underneath. And then category name, you choose a category name. So I don't know, I'm just going to put modded drinks, but you know, this could be whatever name of the mod is or whatever type of drinks is, and then you just change the class name of the drink to whatever you want it to. Now we're not going to go over all these different settings because I don't fully understand them, but I do know these last two numbers, it's the buy and sell price. But yeah, you can just simply copy. It's all a bit weird. It's like a coefficiency. It's all a bit weird with Trader Plus. But yeah, so that's sort of a quick example of what you could do there. But you do need to remember, if you do add a new category or you take away a category, when we go to the ID file, we're going to need to add that category there and inside the right ID file. Right, so we're just going to undo that because that's not what we're doing. But I kind of quickly there showed you you can add a different category and put in, and you can even change this. Say we didn't want this to be called drinks. I don't know. Say we want it to be called vanilla drinks. You can change the default names as well. That's up to you. But whatever the name is here in the category file, when we go to the ID file, it needs to match. So when you open that vending machine, it knows, okay, we got this category and it's got these items inside that category. Okay, so yeah, so you can scroll down here, you can add new categories, or you can remove them, or you can even combine them. Say we wanted these tools big, inside the tools small, you could copy these, for example, and we'll go in there, we'll put a comma on that one, we'll push enter, and we'll press Control-V, paste, and then we could just, I don't know, say we just didn't want a small and large tools, we could just call this tools, and then we could get rid of that, and then all the tools are combined. And then again, when you go to the ID file, take out one of the tools sections and just rename the other one tools or whatever you called it. And that's how you could do that if you wanted to combine them. Think there we go, somewhat right, and that's what you can do. I'll just kind of put it back to default for now. So I think I've covered what you can do with there, and again, I am trying to do this quickly for you guys because I really don't want to be half an hour, but we are pretty close to that. Right, okay, so I think I've covered that, and again, any issues, you can come and speak with me in Discord or create a ticket and I can help you out, but hopefully you can kind of see what to do. Now, one of the things I haven't said, and I recommend you do, is you validate your stuff. So you can go to Google, you can search for, in this case we're dealing with a JSON file, so you can search for a JSON validator or a JSON formatter. There is many up there. There's a certain one that I like to use, but there are many out there that just work just fine. And then you could put in your file into that validator and actually see if it's valid. So that way you don't upload something to your server that maybe have errors. Right. Okay, so once that's done, we can now go and check the Trader Plus ID config. Right, so inside here, ID 0. So this is the one that I said was the food trader. So if we go back to general, ID 0, food trader. So ID 0, and like I said before, it actually has the medical stuff as well. It's also got the money exchanged and the licenses. And again, you can put all these different like categories. So if you want the license in the weapons category, you could just swap it over into there. So you can swap these around depending where you want them. Now, say we made a new category. Say that I didn't actually save it there, but I showed you how to make a drug one, which was ID 5. So say you do add a new category. What you can do is copy one of these ones that's already there. So we'll just copy ID 2 because it's a bit smaller. We'll go underneath there. It doesn't really matter in the order you put this, but it may help to organize it a bit better. So we'll go under ID 4. We'll put a comma on that bracket. We'll push enter, press Control V. And then what we'll do is we'll change this ID to whatever the ID that we created. We'll do that as ID 5. And then inside here, we'll delete all these categories. And then I'll just call it. Now you can have multiple categories. I'm just going to show you with one. And then we'll just call this drugs. Right. And then obviously in the price config, you would need to do the same. So we'll just copy one of them. For example, just go underneath. This is just for video purposes. And then we'll call this drugs. So you can see there the category name, drugs. It matches up in the ID file, drugs. And this is ID 5. So again, okay, I haven't got it there, but imagine I add the ID 5. That would link up there. And then the config, and then you just put in the class name of the drugs. I'm hoping that makes sense. And obviously, you do your prices and whatnot. Right. So we're just going to delete that, but you can kind of see, you do need to make sure things match up. Right. Let's go back to the ID file. And yeah, so that's what you do there. If you want to add more categories, or if you want to change category, like if you in the price config, if you change the category name, make sure you change it in there too. So I think I showed you with the tools, for example. So it's fine where the tools are. Tools, it's in ID 2. So we have tools. Oh, actually, have I already changed this? I might have. No. Okay, I think it was tools and every tools. Whatever they was. I thought it said large and small. Yeah, it does. It says tools, small, tools. Okay, that's a bit weird for a default file. It doesn't even match up in here, look. It says tools and every tools. But yeah, these names would need to match up. So if you combined it into one, take out the one that you've removed, and then the name of the actual category, what's in the price config file. Okay, so I'm hoping that makes sense. So basically, in short now, the price config, so the category name there needs to match up in the ID file here in the categories. So when you open it up, it knows, okay, this is this category and this is going to be the items in this category. And then the ID for the category, so in the ID file, needs to match up with what's in the general config file. So it knows when you go, say, to the car trader, we're going to be selling car stuff. I'm hoping you're with me. And then that is pretty much it. And like I said, always validate your files, use the JSON validator, and check everything is correct. Now, like I said, the only thing I really haven't covered is the ATMs. Now, but it's pretty much saying when you do ATMs, just copy the position. And if you are using a different ATM system like advanced banking, it has its own config where you'd go and put in the positions. But I did cover that earlier on, so you should kind of get an idea. But again, like I said, any issues, you can come and speak with me in Discord. But I think that's it. I think I've rambled on for far too long. I think I've covered everything that you need to do. Of course, I've done all these little edits. I'm not going to save them, but of course, I've done all these little edits or little things to show you inside the Trader Plus mod folder, but you would do this in your profiles folder. And yeah, I think that's it. So anyway, until next time, have fun and peace out. We've actually been half an hour, so yeah, until next time, have fun, peace out,